it's Patricia and welcome back to my channel. Today's review is a full face, almost full face, on the brand Ilmakiage. You probably have seen their foundation and concealer all over social media. This is the foundation and then the concealer, and I'm testing out both of those along with some of the Carli Bybel collab products, and we have some other items. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, keep on watching. I will have swatches, a demo, I will have pricing and more details down below. I do want to mention that I've had an amazing experience with the Ilmakiage team. This video is not sponsored. I did purchase everything with my own money, but I did have some issues with shipping and they made it right. I have to say a lot of the items took a very long time to ship, but they reached out and let me know, oh, it's been over 10 days. So here is a promo code. We're sorry this happened. And you'll see that I had to get 3 different foundations, but they made it right. And I couldn't ask for a better experience. So they kept in touch, and if I had any questions, they just made it right. I really wanted to mention that because customer service is everything. It really is. And not only are their products really great, I'll show you guys the products I've been just loving, and some products that I'm not like the biggest fan of, but these are all my personal opinions. And so yeah, let's get into the demo and review. It's been a couple of minutes since the foundation has dried down. I just wanted to show you guys it does dry down a little bit darker. You can't tell. But I'm gonna go with 110. That's what I've been using. I don't know what's up with 105. You would think it would be the lightest, but it's definitely warm and darker. A black eyeliner. Do you guys see that? You can make it as, you know, smaller, but it is pigmented and black, and it stayed on. For this portion of the video, I'm going to be doing a voiceover. I hope you guys don't mind, but I wanted to show you the products I've been using and how I like to use them. This isn't an everyday thing, but I wanted to wear something a little bit more full coverage, so I added in a little bit more foundation and concealer, because the concealer on its own just doesn't give me the coverage that I need. So this is just my eyes. The eyeliner was fantastic. It came free and it's matte, it's pigmented, easy to use. Now with the foundation, it was a learning curve. I don't know why, but I think I figured out that I can't use my Ulta MD tinted SPF because this foundation kind of breaks apart, and it came with the brush, but for whatever reason I can't get the brush to look even. It looks a little bit patchy, and I've tried different primers, I've exfoliated, so I do like to use a sponge for the foundation and concealer. The concealer on its own, shade number 8, is way too light, so I went in with the Wet n Wild one. And I'm sculpting right now. I typically don't do this every day, but in the Carli Bybel palette, the bronzer is just a little too warm for my liking, so I needed to deepen up my bronzer, so I just lightly contoured. This is the light medium palette by MAC. And now we're going in with that warm bronzer. It is pigmented, it's just not a shade I would use on its own personally. I'm used to something more neutral, and this is very, very warm. The blush, on the other hand, I wish she made like a tan palette, because I think the medium palette is just slightly too light for me, but the highlighters, oh my gosh, beautiful, and I'm using that all over pretty much. I love the highlighters. Do I think the palette is worth it? I'm not sure, because I only really like 2 of the shades, and I wish I liked every single shade. So with the lips, I'm doing what Carli did, and she really overlined her lips with Libra and then Luna, and this is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed. I ended up not doing a first impressions on this palette. The first time I filmed with this, I just didn't really like the look that I was going for. I think it's because of the bronzer, to be honest, and the blush. The bronzer, in my opinion, is just too light and too warm, especially from what I'm used to. So I added in my favorite contour palette by MAC, and it is the Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette. I use this or a bronzer, but even compared to Laguna, wow, I thought Laguna was a little warm, but the bronzer in here is just not my favorite. I don't know if you guys can see how warm and different it is. Blush I can work with, but I almost feel like it's just a tad bit ashy on me. I wish she had a palette that was between the medium and deep. I don't know if the deep would be, or I think it's the deep or dark palette. I don't know if that one would be too dark on my complexion, but this one, unfortunately, I do think the blush and the bronzer are just not the right shades and a little bit too light. But for the highlighters, I really love the highlighters, and now that I've been playing with how to make the foundation and concealer work, I love pairing the concealer with a different concealer. As I end up using a ton of this on its own, a ton, and it still doesn't give me the coverage of other concealers like the Wet n Wild. Yeah, if I had to repurchase any of the products, I would definitely repurchase one of the sheer lip crayons, the foundation, and I really like the formula of the lip liners, but right now the Pat McGrath lip liner is my favorite formula, and I don't know if it's about the same price range, I believe. I really hope you enjoyed this review. I know it was a longer video, but I wanted to get all the shades and just tell you all about this brand. And I hope you guys consider subscribing to my channel. I still have a giveaway going on. I will have details down below in the link. I hope all is well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.